All right. To another day. Let's do this. So, how did I get to this? We're going to go straight there before I even say the title of what I'm talking about today, what I'm trying to decipher, trying to figure out. How did I get to this? I realized very quickly and very early, after I was pushing my last topic that I was discussing, that we each have strings that tie us to things, that pull us and push us in certain directions, that make us do or not do. And after reconsuming it, after reinterpreting it, after understanding it, I came to the realization that it was one of my best works so far. I say that every single time because it's true, but it was explained and pieced together in such a way that it made me realize that if I could get people to understand this, then I could start getting them to start branching out. Essentially, it was a topic that could destroy all the roots and the vines and the chains and the things, right? The strings, we were cutting all strings to free them to just become who they always were meant to be. So I started realizing that I walked down some paths, intentionally, by the way, to see if I could force myself to experience that feeling that I know everyone else is feeling when they encounter something that either makes them do more, perform better, or walk away and perform worse. So I was self-creating situations to make myself experience that. And I was destroying all of them as they popped up. You guys understand that I'm saying, if right now I'm like, hey, I'm gonna drink some coffee, but it's cold or warm, and I always blow before I drink warm coffee because I'm worried I'm gonna burn myself. I'm like, can I just take a sip right away? Like maybe that's what I'm talking about when I say intentionally creating scenarios to feel that way. So when I started doing that, though, I started quickly coming to the realization of what were the optimal paths, because I had already developed all these skill sets. I'd already figured out all of this stuff previously. You guys understand, I wasn't really progressing anymore. I was now just recreating optimal because I knew how to do so. And there were some still, I figured out a way that even when I was recreating, even when I was reinterpreting, so just so people understand what I'm saying is I streamed, I created a full video that discussed knowledge that was extremely valuable, new. And then I was starting to break it down. And then I was starting to release it in video format. I did essentially no edits, but I just added a little bit of music, some captions, and then I was reinterpreting it in a written format and adding additional comments as well. So think of it as just reinforcement. I was adding more reinforcement and another perspective to it. And it's all extremely valuable, especially if someone consumes the video, reads the post, and then reads all the comments. Do you guys understand that? That means that they had essentially the main focus, and then they had main reinforcement, and then they had 3 side takes that can help them get to the answer. Because sometimes what you guys all realize is that when we're doing something, when we're doing a climb, when we're progressing on something, we start figuring it out, but usually we get stuck somewhere. And then we don't know how to get further. Like there's just like something blocking us, and that's what really a climb is. Do you guys understand that we start progressing? And as we're doing that, the reason why we can't move on is because we haven't learned something yet, usually. Sometimes we are getting blocked, and that's a different discussion, right? And that's when we might need a resource or need a tool, or we might just need to walk a different path. Those are all valid as well. Or we just are being stopped and there's nothing we can do, right? So those are all options. But what I'm saying is that for most of us, we just get stuck. There's something that we're missing, or there's something that we didn't explore. There's something that we didn't realize we could do, or that we could gain, or maybe it goes against our values and we don't want to add something that would make it easier, then we can overcome it. And that's fine. You guys understand? That means we can't progress further. Yet what I was realizing is that I created a scenario for myself where I was trying to give people all of that. And that's amazing. Do you guys understand? Because that means that all those people would get it. But hear what I'm saying. I did it for others. And I did get more traction. I got more feedback, meaning a progress metric that showcased my results. That, hey, actually, I think more people are getting it. I think people are actually resonating with this because I'm not going to say dumbed down, but I just want to mean like I just explained it in a different way that didn't scare people off because these are very complex topics. So if it's broken down in such a way that you can conceptualize it, well, then it doesn't seem so scary anymore. So it was all of that was good, right? You guys understand? But that means now I'm starting to focus on optimal. Now I'm starting to focus more on, because I already knew this path, but then now I also just reinforced it. Now I started to believe that it was determining like change, that it was determining my worth. I'm telling you, what I started noticing is that I was getting pushed. I was getting encouraged by, I call them, there's something else in this world that's pushed things up into us to make us do or create a certain way. And all of a sudden, I'm like, the main focus of what I was talking about, the main goal of what I want people to do is to watch the video, the stream, and to get all the knowledge, and then to keep exploring, to keep seeking, to keep progressing, to keep moving forward, to keep creating new in their own life. Yet then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm recreating right now. And I was like, it's fine. I'm doing this in between until I get to the next point where I get a lesson, and then I'll create something again. So I was still protecting myself. Do you guys understand? I was still creating new, but it wasn't the same. I got addicted to the fuel rather than the story. And what's the story? The story is, what is the main outcome? What am I actually trying to accomplish? What am I trying to accomplish? I'm trying to accomplish that I keep learning, I keep growing, I keep trying to figure out better ways to fight back against how the world is currently designed, to see if we can change how everything operates. Because for far too long, all of us have accepted that this is just how the world is, and there's nothing we can do. And I'm saying there's nothing further from the truth. And then I just wanted people to heal, to be free, and to see things. Then I'm like, so I had connected A to B, which was to get people to B, they need to consume it. How do people consume it? Well, I need to focus on creating basically marketing, reaching out to people, helping people, guiding people to make them be more inclined to consume my content so that they can learn. At no point, do you guys understand? At no point is my storyline goal, my end, have anything to do with money, have anything to do with a personal reward, right? Like, I would love to get a girl. I would love to have a kid again and a family and a pet and all that stuff like that, and explore the world and hopefully, right? But you see, like, all of a sudden, oh, right, that's the person. I'm like, that's not, I wasn't even doing it for that anymore. Way back when, I was like, I hope it could start leading me down a path of that. But I broke that, right? I've destroyed money. I don't care about that at all. I'm like, I'm not doing that at all for this. I don't even care if people just take my stuff anymore and spread it as their own knowledge. You guys understand? Like, I had to destroy that too, because that happens to each and every one of us when we're creating. So I was like, what is going on? Like, why do I care so much that they get to that? I'm like, oh my gosh, they reinstalled this addiction to the small progress metrics, which really boils down to, I was getting baited to care that other people consume my stuff. At no point did I care how many followers I get. At no point did I care if I become like a trusted leader, a voice of reason, right? Like, you guys understand that there was nothing in it for me. I'm saying that because the reason, just so people understand, the reason why I can say that and defeated all those things, because most of us get stuck there, right? We do it for ourselves, and we should create for ourselves. But why are we doing it? What's the storyline we're walking toward? And most of us get stuck there. I'm saying the way you destroy that is by focusing on progress. If I focus on progress right now, it means that there's always small little changes that happen throughout the day, throughout everything we do, throughout how I stream, throughout how I make videos, throughout how I create, throughout how I talk, throughout how I figure things out, throughout how I piece things together, throughout how I act the next day when the same situation occurs. You guys understand there's no mistakes if you're always progressing, because you just are like, okay, that happened. Well, this time I'm going to do this. Like, for example, now I'm realizing what, just so you guys realize why I did this, I'm realizing that no matter what, I have to be extremely careful when I bring in back anything external, because now I see how they do it. But I need to just keep doing these little talks. They can be short or they can be extremely long, it doesn't matter. But they just have to be something like this. And I have to do it as often as possible whenever I discover something new. It has to be done through this format. Until they try to stop it, and then I have to deviate. But do you guys get it? That's just how it is. That's what I've come to the conclusion to. Why? Because I'm moving forward. I'm progressing. But do you guys see, like, that's my now answer. So I still learned something new. But what got me to be able to do this is I realized I just have to keep progressing. So if I'm just progressing, I don't care if I'm gonna get a money reward. I don't care if people are like, you are literally the healer, you're my Jesus essentially, because you saved myself and my family. We were struggling so much after I lost my job and I didn't know what to do, and we were just getting into conflict, and there were so many problems happening. We started caring about money, and like we were gonna run out of money and all this stuff like that. And we listened to you, we read your comment on a whim randomly, we saw it, and then we watched your thing, and everything just clicked, and now we are doing so much better. How can we ever repay you? And I'm like, don't, just thrive, please. Teach others, make them realize that what I'm saying is not, I'm not getting anything out of it. For me, I want the world to be better. I want you guys get it? But you see, that's my goal, right? That was my end storyline. Like, what's the main purpose for doing this? I'm like, just to heal people, to think so that things can actually change, because we can't change anything until people are healed. It's just not possible. Just so people understand, that's really what it boils down to. If you're not healed today, you're never going to allow change to happen in your area. It's just impossible. It's just not possible. So that's what led me to all of this. So that's how I destroyed everything, through progression. I thought it was the answer. It is. But then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm so good at learning anything now. Just so you guys understand, if you piece together everything I'm saying, if you've been following along my journey and you've been also deconstructing and taking notes and then reinterpreting it for yourself and making the seeking, but making it your own, you're gonna have very similar skill sets as I do now, which is you just can see the vision. You just understand things. The moment you do something, you don't immediately choose the optimal approach. You can, but you're like, well, I see, I need that to counter that. I need this to avoid this. I need this to do this. Oh, this is a really good path. People can react well to this. People respond well to this. Oh, maybe we should avoid this. Maybe I should add in a little bit of this. And if I do all that and piece them all together, then I can create a pretty smooth path that there's not going to be a lot of interruptions and problems, because, well, things just work. And I'm saying you guys are going to get to that point where anything new that you try, since you're not worried about the first attempt, speaking of, let's make a quick intentional mistake. I'm going to throw some ham into my coffee, just because if you make an early mistake and you don't recreate it from last time, well, then what's the problem? I'll throw it in there and I'm going to try to drink it. Oh, turns out it's not easy to drink ham in coffee because it sinks. That means I'm going to get that piece of ham that I just threw into my coffee at some point throughout this video. I don't know when, but it's going to be funny because it's going to interrupt me and I'm going to remember this point. Do you guys see how something like that could even help me? Why did I do that? Because everything from this point forward isn't going to change. You guys get it? How I talk about things and what I'm going to talk about, those things are always going to deviate a little bit. But why I'm doing it isn't going to change. Do you guys understand? Why I'm doing this one for myself? Yet at the same time, that goal, that storyline goal of that I want people to be healed, still is there. It hasn't changed. You see, I'm not focusing at all right now on small little progress metrics whatsoever, except my own created ones. I'm like, can I do this? Can I talk about these things? Can I explain these extremely complicated topics through the stories that I'm going to use today? I'm like, yeah, I can, and I'm going to. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm saying what got me to that is I realized that they were weaponizing progress.